Hello and welcome to your March 2022 forecast readings with me, Intuitive Rene. Always such an honor and privilege to be here for you, and thank you for giving me the space to create this kind of content that keeps you inspired, motivated, and enthusiastic about life. So we are looking at March 2022. I actually can't quite wrap my head around that, but anyway, um, what this video is a series of 12 individual videos that are the same but completely different. Basically, I record a single video for each sign of the zodiac using the same layout or the same spread, the same deck of cards, but obviously the cards that come through, the messages that come through, and the reading that comes through will be completely different for each sign of the zodiac. So there are 12 identical spreads or 12 identical readings, and you get to choose one based on your sun sign. And if you know yourself, your astrology, and you know your rising sign and your moon sign, you're welcome to watch those as well to get other aspects or just another angle on your own life and your own what's coming through for you during the month of March 2022. So these videos, these taroscopes as I call them, they are released the week before the new month. So in the last week of the previous month, you will get them, which is why you're now getting the March readings. And the way that I suggest that you work with this is obviously before the month starts itself, watch the video to get an idea of what's in store for you, what you need to be aware of, what you need to know about, what's coming up for you, so that you can almost plan and be prepared for anything. And then during the month, at least once, I would say about halfway through, but anytime that you find yourself facing a challenge or facing a problem, come back to the video and look at it, watch it again, even if you just pick out certain aspects of it, just to remind you and to help you stay focused on whatever it is that you need to stay focused on. So before I push the record button, I do all the behind the work scenes of connecting to spirit and setting the intentions and all of that other kind of good stuff, and making sure that I set the intentions correctly for each one of you. So it is a collective reading, so it's for everybody who has the same sign of the zodiac, but each one of you will hear something different through the reading, and that's the intention that I set, and that's the way that I work with spirit. We're using the tarot just as a tool, just to help formulate, if I can say, the stuff that needs to come across. And for this month, for the month of March, I am working with two amazing decks. The first one I'm going to work with is if I can get the glare off, is the Enchanted Map Oracle. And the Enchanted Map Oracle is going to give us our theme for the month ahead. And it's the first card that we're going to draw through the reading. And like I said, I do love working with this particular deck. This is such an old deck. I think it's like one of the first that ever joined my collection from the Oracle point of view. And I mean, it is so old and grubby and dirty and fabulous. So I love working with Enchanted Map to give us our theme for the month ahead. And then, getting quite excited, I'm going to work with the Spacious Tarot. So the Spacious Tarot is a normal, typical tarot deck, but from a different perspective. The whole deck, every single card, if I remember correctly, there's no people in the deck, so it's almost like from your eyes. Okay, so it's if you're looking at whatever's in front of you, but from your eyes or from your vantage point, it's the Spacious Tarot. It's the space in front of you. So because we're doing a forward look, because we're looking at the month ahead, I thought working with the Spacious Tarot, and it's such a beautiful deck. The artwork is just exquisite. So quite looking forward to working with Spacious Tarot as well. And of course, they're a beautiful sized deck. It's not overly large and difficult for me to shuffle and to work with. They're a beautiful size, perfect size as far as I'm concerned. So those are the two decks that I'm going to be working with. And as I mentioned earlier on, I am doing quite a detailed spread. I've got 10 cards or 10 card positions. So I'm going to shuffle and lay out 10 cards and read. It is the same format that I used in February. So if you enjoyed the format I used, then we're going to work with the same format for the month of March. And we're going to lay out the 10 cards and just see what comes through for every one of you. This particular intro is a generic intro. So I'm recording this intro once, and I'm just going to add it into every single video that I create hereafter for the March Taroscopes. And I just do it to save myself repetitive talking, and also because when I start recording and I start like with Aries and move all the way through to Pisces, I get in the zone, okay? And because of that, I want to just, when I'm doing those readings, just get straight into it and bring through whatever information that you need. If you enjoy this kind of content and if you enjoy these taroscopes, I am just a small channel here on YouTube. I'm nobody big and fancy and fabulous. So the best way to support and to show appreciation for what I do is to give the video a thumbs up and a comment below. Get all your friends to come and watch. But the more you interact with the video, the more you're letting YouTube know that this is good content and other people need to see it. So YouTube will recommend it to other people, and that's the best way to support me. And also just to show me that, that you do enjoy what I do. So thank you so much, and let's get straight into your reading. Okay, Virgo, let's get into your reading and let's have a look and see what the month of March has in store for you. I am shuffling the Enchanted Map Oracle to get our theme for the month ahead. So we just want a single card from this deck. Let's see what wants to come through for you. Single card from Enchanted Map Oracle. Theme for the month ahead for Virgo energy. Okay, cards are shuffled and I am going to take that card over there. Let's have a look and see what we have. You've got mountain. Oh, I like that. So mountain, immediately when I look at it, I mean, it looks like he's got his mouth hanging open and there's this waterfall coming out of his mouth. So he is the mountain, okay? He is the mountain and the mountain is him. But it is also about recognizing it's not about the mountain that you have to climb, although it absolutely could be. It could be the long, hard road that you have to walk in order to overcome the mountain. But it could also be, if you are at the mountain, about standing so strong, standing so solid and being so super confident in yourself and not letting anyone push you away. You know, it doesn't matter what the weather does. It doesn't matter if it rains, if it hails, if it snows, if it thunders, you know, whatever it is, the mountain stands. It's only wind over many, 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 many years that can move a mountain, isn't it? So it's interesting. So is it the mountains that we have to overcome? You know, or is it the fact that we are so strong and so solid as the mountain that nothing and nobody can get us down or get us, you know, move us, if I can put it that way. Card number 6. Right, so I'm going to leave mountain over there, and we're now going to shuffle the tarot deck, and this is the Spacious Tarot. I'm going to shuffle and draw out 10 cards, apparently shuffling badly today. Shuffle and draw out 10 cards, which will help us understand the mountain. And these 10 cards are going to give us insight and clarity. Just again, the mountains that come through give us the tarot will give us clarity on the mountain. And are we climbing a mountain? Have we reached the summit of the mountain, the top of the mountain, and are we now moving down the other side? Or are we needing to stand firm and solid and grounded like a mountain, unmoving, unwavering in our resolve? Okay, so let's shuffle the cards, and we're looking to draw out 10 cards. And once I've laid all the cards out, I will start with the interpretation. Okay, so cards are together. I'm cutting the deck over there, and let's see what we have. I'm going to put them all out, and then I will, because I'm focusing on looking at the screen to make sure that they're straight, because there's nothing worse if I look down at the table and then I look up and they're all over the place and it's not clean, neat and tidy. We need, don't we, Virgo? We need clean, neat and tidy. We need orderly. We don't need disarray. All right, interesting. I'm suddenly noticing a couple of cards that have made appearances already this month in my other zodiacs that I've done already. Okay, but let's just do a recap. What is predominant here? And it looks like we have got wands, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wands. Out of the 10 cards we've laid out, we have got 5 wands, and we have got 2 swords, 1 pentacle, and 1 cup. All right, easy. The fact that there's so many wands here, it is about action. It is about the doing. It is about the movement. All right. So immediately with mountain over here, I'm immediately going to say to you, it's not so much about being solid still and standing for yourself. I actually think it's about climbing the mountain. Okay, I actually think it's about climbing the mountain. And I also say that because of our first card that we have over there, which seems to be on the peak of the mountain. And it's almost like there's almost like something's about to happen. And then when I look here, I'm seeing all this activity and all this kind of action, and then things quieten down and settle down over there. So it seems to me like we are climbing a mountain. And what we're going to understand now, Virgo, is, are we at the base of the mountain still needing to go up, or are we already at the top and it's just the downward spiral? Okay, so Virgo, March 2022. We're starting off with the Explorer of Swords. And you can see that he is perched on a cliff ledge, on a ledge of some kind. The fact that the little mouth is open, that his beak is open, tells you he's making a noise. So he's alerting somebody. He's screaming and shouting and saying, hey, 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 be careful down below, because he knows that as soon as he gets off that sword, that the sword is going to topple, that the sword is going to fall. And with the sword being a sharp point, it's obviously, if it lands on you, it's going to hurt you. So the Explorer of Swords is somebody who's not afraid to take a chance, not afraid to take a risk, somebody who's not afraid to climb out of their comfort zone and to see what everything is there. So I do think this is Spirit saying to you, Virgo, that for the month of March, it is about, I want to say, doing the unexpected, okay? Remembering our theme of mountain here. It is about doing the unexpected. It is about pushing yourself beyond the limits of what you've done before. So if you've ever thought to yourself, okay, this is what I can achieve, March is going to be about pushing those boundaries, you know, pushing yourself a little bit further, pushing yourself a little bit harder, pushing yourself a little bit higher as we climb and ascend the mountain, but not being afraid at any point to release any kind of emotion, to release any kind of thoughts, to release any kind of verbals that you need to or want to. And don't, just because there's a potential for danger doesn't mean that you mustn't do it. If you if you give enough warning, then you know people must be responsible for their own actions. I am certainly not encouraging you to throw swords around, Virgo, all right? That is absolutely not what we're saying here. But we are saying that if you're going to do something that may negatively impact on somebody else, give them enough warning, and you know, as long as they've heard you, as long as they've acknowledged you, and as long as they've acted, you may then carry on with what you need to do. But this is exactly it. It's about climbing out of your comfort zone and about releasing your spirit, releasing yourself to do the things that are relevant and appropriate, to do the things that you need to, because you've got an entire mountain to climb in 1 month. The challenge that we have, though, and you know, this is where things start getting interesting, because you know, Virgo, let's be honest, you're nice people, okay? That's the problem. The problem is, Virgo, is that you're nice people. The problem is that you care about people's interpretations, reactions, and thought processes. Five of Wands is the card of conflict. And if we have a look at the card, you can see that there is conflict, all right? And yes, we've got two different color wands or sticks. Each one is completely different from the other. And nobody's winning and nobody's losing. They're all winning and they're all losing. And you've got like this one who is attacking this one, who is attacking this one, who is attacking that one, who is attacking that one, who, you know, it's a complete chaotic cycle. You don't have a situation of them against them or A against B. It's just everybody against everybody. And the problem is that you're always trying to make peace. You're always trying to help people figure it out and understand and process. But the truth of the matter is you can't. So the challenge is that you're too nice. The challenge is that you care too much. The challenge is that you don't want to cause anybody any kind of conflict or any kind of tragedy or any kind of hardship. So you would actually rather stand on that sword, holding it in place for the entire month, like a mountain, not moving, than take a gamble of hurting somebody. But the truth of the matter is, it's time to let that go. You know, it really is time to let that go. You don't want to be the one with the, I'm going to call it the river of tears. I know it's a waterfall coming out of his mouth, but maybe it's the tears. I don't know. Use your imagination. Follow me on this. You know, you don't want to be having all of this water gushing out, okay, running out, and you're just stuck there and you can't do anything about it, because that's the situation you have. You have to fly off. You have to let that sword go. And yes, there is potential for danger, but if you give them sufficient warning, that chaos is going to happen anyway. Whether you're part of it or not, the chaos is going to happen anyway. But the challenge that you face, Virgo, is that you care too much. You care too much, and you're too kind, and you're too generous, and all of those kind of things. And what you need to be doing, though, is you need to be focusing more on yourself. And I know that's hard. I know that's so hard, but you need to be confident, you need to be strong, you need to be brave, and you need to let your light shine, because that's what I'm getting from this particular card. It is about letting your light shine and not being concerned around the chaos that's happening. You know, how many times in this world, and I'm just looking at the fireworks as an example, fireworks is used to celebrate something. You know, we want to give a big show of celebration, acknowledgement. You know, we use it to bring in the new year, all of those kind of things. So it's and I know this is an incredibly touchy subject, especially for animal lovers like myself, but you know, fireworks don't go too well with the animal kingdom. The animals don't particularly like it, but you've got those people who enjoy the fireworks because it's pretty and because it's big and because it's all of those things, but they're not always aware of the chaos that's happening beneath the surface. And that's exactly the situation that we've got here. And Virgo, you're stuck between the rock and a hard place. You are the mountain trying to climb the mountain, and a mountain climbing a mountain doesn't really work, but that's the situation that you're in, and that's what you're facing at the moment. And the challenge for you is recognizing that and actually deciding which side you're going to go for, which side you're going to be. And honestly, going back here, I think you need to fly off and you need to let that sword do whatever that sword is going to do, because you know what, the sword's going to do what the sword's going to do anyway. Right, what brought us to this point, and what we have here is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is a decision that's been made and just waiting for the right moment and the right time. So you can see that there's this kind of pathway, but then this pathway seems to be deviating ever so slightly. You know, the first light is on the path, the second one is next to the path, and then we're going further and further away. It's about a decision that's been made to venture off the beaten track, to venture away from the safety and the security of the common road. And honestly, Virgo, I think you're also ready for this. I really do think you're ready for this. I really think you're ready to step away from the I don't want to call it the comfort, because it's not so much the comfort, but to step off the road that you're expected to travel on, to step away from your boring path and to actually start exploring what else is out there. And again, the only way that you're going to be able to explore what else is out there is if you take some chances without worrying about the impacts that it has on everybody else. So you need to be strong in your resolve, strong in your decisions and your actions, but you also need to recognize that there is still a lot for you to do and a lot for you to accomplish. And the only way that you're going to do that is by making those decisions and acting on it and allowing it to move you forward. All right. Excuse me. The support that is available to you from Spirit right now. What we have over here is the Child of Wands. And suddenly everything is so simple. There is not a lot going on this card. We have the single wand, and we have this little bit of magic, little bit of fire, this little bit of something happening across the top there. And here you are, all sweet and innocent, curious, ready to explore and ready to see what is there. But notice the background. There is nothing. I mean, it is like a blank canvas. And this is what you need to understand. Spirit is saying to you, the only complications and conflicts and stuff that we experience are those that we pay attention to. And if you focus on your path, if you focus on reaching that destination that you have predetermined and set for yourself, nothing else is going to matter. So it's interesting that comes through in line of the support that's available to you, because it's almost like Spirit is saying, you have to do what you have to do. All right, you can't get away from that. You can't change it and you can't stop it. You have to do what you have to do. And know that haters are going to be haters. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes, is that, not everything works out in life. We all have a mountain to climb. And it's not always easy. It's really not always easy, but we have to do it because the mountain's not going anywhere. The challenge is not going anywhere. We have to just keep going. But it's about choosing what you want to focus on, choosing the rest of the stuff that is relevant and important, and making sure that you're not getting sucked into the chaos and the drama that is happening around you. Right, Virgo, what are we moving towards? And this card is just so interesting because First of all, everything looks quite, I'm going to call it animated, and quite like all these lines drawn. What is that saying where we say, draw a line in the sand? When we understand boundaries, borders, when we create those kind of things, we suddenly have a clearer picture. Because if I cover the bottom half, I mean, everything there is quite blurry and quite out of focus. But suddenly with these white lines, suddenly we understand the picture and what's in front of us. But we've got some damage. Okay, we have this river, this little stream running in front of us, but in front of it here we've got some damage. There's some carnage and there's some breakage and there's some damage that's taken place. But what we don't understand is that there's fully functional, standing upright, beautiful cups over on that end. Where are you? Are you on this side of the river, or are you on that side of the river? Are you stuck in the chaos? Are you stuck in the conflict and the drama? Or are you focusing on that which you have, which is working out beautifully for yourself? So if I look at all of this, Virgo, just to get this full picture here, we've got the mountain as our theme. But Spirit are definitely saying to you, the month of March is about climbing out of your comfort zone and doing things that may be out of the ordinary for you, doing things that are maybe different from normal, where you're not always considering or thinking about other people, but you're actually saying, you know what, I'm doing this for me. I need to fly off. I need to move away. And there is a potential that somebody else is going to get hurt. There's a potential that somebody else may be, I'm going to say, negatively impacted, but you can't prevent it. You can't stop it. The challenge is not getting caught up in the chaos and not getting caught up in the drama, and recognizing that this is your time to shine. This is your time to show off and to be as bright and as bold and as beautiful as you can be, because you have made decisions. And now it's time to act on those decisions. It's time to enforce those decisions and move towards the decisions that you have made previously. Spirit is saying to you, the support that's available to you is simple, it's clear. All you have to do is stay on your path, stay committed, stay focused. And if you can do that, you won't be sucked into the chaos that is around you. And we're moving towards recognizing and leaving behind the tragedies, the hurts, the broken, and the problems, and moving towards a better life for us all. So the mountain is big, the mountain is strong, the mountain is tall, the mountain is solid. Okay, but it's about choosing what parts of the mountain you're prepared to work with. What is the best route to take in overcoming the mountain? And one thing I can say to you absolutely with certainty, Virgo, is that you are going to overcome it. And I say that because of what I'm seeing down the bottom here, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Right. Let's have a look at this card, because this is a very interesting one. Eight of Pentacles, we have a beautiful bee, and we have this kind of, it's painting a picture of what looks like a beehive. And bees represent honey, represent sweetness, represent abundance, joy, all of those positive things. Eight of Pentacles is the card of hard work. And, if you think about a worker bee doesn't question why he's doing the things that he's doing. A worker bee just gets on and does, There's no questioning, there's no thinking, there's no worrying about anything. The worker bee just gets on and does without questioning anything. And this is how people are seeing you, Virgo. People see you as that person who just doesn't stop for anything. If there's a mountain to be climbed, you're just going to keep putting one foot in front of the other until you have achieved it. Nobody understands, if I can say, the background. Nobody ever understands how you got there, or the thought processes, or the bigger picture. People only see you as the worker bee. People see you as the person who persists and carries on and never stops, never gives up, and never backs down for anything. But they don't take a step back and look at the bigger picture and the group work that goes on. So the Eight of Pentacles is the card of hard work, continuous, repetitive hard work. And that's the only way to overcome a mountain, isn't it? One step at a time. You don't see yourself that way. The truth of the matter is, you're actually seeing yourself in a completely different light. You're seeing yourself as somebody who has limits and restrictions. You're seeing yourself as so far from the mountain, stuck out in the snow, not able to move and not able to progress and not able to go. So it's very interesting, Virgo, how these two are so different, how people are perceiving you and the way that you're perceiving yourself are so different. And you know what it is? It's because you're a nice person. You're somebody who cares about other people. You're somebody who cares about what other people say, what other people think, and what other people feel. But the truth of the matter is, you shouldn't be, okay? You need to be focused on your own self, your own journey, your own progress. And if you're always worried about helping or being kind, caring, and considerate to other people, you really are just setting yourself up for failure. I don't know if failure is the right word. Sorry, as I said that, I got shouted at in my head. But you understand what I mean. Setting yourself up for a difficult mountain instead of an easy and simple mountain. When I look at this next card, all right, so Virgo, this is Spirit sort of saying to you, what are your biggest fears? What are you afraid of? What is the thing that's sort of blocking you or holding you back during the month of March? And the Explorer of Wands, look how close to the fire he's got. Now, he is a little salamander, but look how close to the fire he's got. And you're afraid of that. You're afraid that if you get too close, you may get burned. You're afraid that if you meddle too much, I mean, you can see his one little foot is really stepped into the hot lava. But it's about understanding your limits and restrictions. It's about understanding your capabilities, and it's not allowing them to hold you back. So yes, and I go back to what I said with that card over there. Yes, there is a chance that when that sword falls, it's going to land on somebody, and it may cause a little bit of pain. But at the end of the day, is that your journey or is that their journey? Is that your path or is that their path? As long as you've warned them, as long as you've expressed yourself, and as long as you've said, hey, this is what's going on. If people don't want to adhere to that, if people don't want to follow that, well, there's not much else you can do. But you've got to recognize that this is your journey and you have to take the steps. I know you're afraid of burning. I know you're afraid of burnout. Suddenly I'm hearing that word in my head, but there's no need to be. There's no need to be concerned. As long as you are not trying to fix other people's problems all the time, as long as you are staying committed to your mountain, to your journey, to your obstacle, you're going to be absolutely fine. And I know that because of this card. So this is the Ace of Swords. But I want you to notice all the precision lines that we have. And it's quite interesting. I have done now, I don't know, quite a few of these zodiac readings today already, okay? And this Ace of Swords in this position has come up quite a few times. So it's obviously something that more of us are working on, more of us are experiencing. And this is Spirit saying to you, as long as you are precise in what you're doing, when you're doing, and how you're doing it, you're not going to fail. But you need to be open to new ideas, to new ways of thinking, to new opportunities. You need to be ready to embrace them, to take them on, and to see them. But you also need to be focusing on the finer details in order to enjoy the success that you're looking for. The other thing I want you to notice here is the mountain. Can you see the shape and the angle? And even here is his open mouth that we had over there. I love to see all these kind of synchronicities, if I can call them that. And basically what this is saying to you is that you've got to open up and you've got to release whatever is blocked inside of you so that you can achieve the summit, that you can reach the point that you're looking to reach the area that you want to reach there. And, again, looking at all the cards, there's a lot of sharp, pointy bits in all the cards. There's a lot of mountain representation in all the cards. But you're not going to get there unless you let go of whatever is not working for you. It's time to let go of the chaos, the drama, the pain, the hurt, the break, the broken, and stop worrying about what other people think. It doesn't matter. The important thing here is that you recognize that you are amazing, that you are awesome, and that you deserve to achieve the heights that you want to for yourself. So, Virgo, I do hope that March is fabulous. I do hope that March is absolutely amazing. With love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.